So there's no surprise that there's a driver shortage nationwide. The industry was short about 78,000 drivers just this year. The average annual salary for a truck driver is $70,000. And I hate to break it to you, but that's a lot more than people are making coming out of college. You can get your CDL in no longer than 6 weeks. Me personally, I got my CDL in only 3 weeks. I also know 2 different people that got their CDL in only 1 week. You're probably thinking, hold on, Tim, that's not right.
That's illegal.
Trust me, they got their CDL in only 1 week and it was completely legal. In this video, I'm gonna talk about a few different ways you can get your CDL paid for free so that you can start to hit that road and make money. There are a lot of state programs that work with companies that are considered trades. Here in Michigan, we have a company called Michigan Works. It's a company that helps provide job seekers the support, training, and services they need to get back to work. They find new employment, obtaining needed credentials, and even more. This is a company that people I work with personally use to get their CDL. You have to go through the process of submitting all of your personal financial information to get approved. As long as you're making under $40,000 a year as a household, they'll verify everything. It takes about 3 to 4 weeks. Then they'll send you to a CDL school that they work with to get your CDL. You don't have to pay anything. As long as you meet their requirements, you can get your CDL paid for. After the completion of the program, you get to work for any company you want. You don't have to sign up for any company and work for them. You can apply to a bunch of different companies to work for the job that you want. If you're not in Michigan, you can also look into the Goodwill or any other state-assisted programs that offer free tuition to get your CDL. Do not believe the people at the school or even after you get your CDL telling you you have to hit the road when you get your CDL because you have no experience. You have to go on the road for 6 months to a year before you can work locally. That is not true. Me personally, I've never hit the road and worked for a company. The only time I hit the road was when me and my partner and I, we started our own trucking company. I've never went over the road. So don't believe the hype when people tell you that. Another way is to find a CDL school. A lot of CDL schools work with trucking companies. Those trucking companies pay for people like you to get your CDL. All you have to do is sign up for them for a year. Let's say sign a 1-year contract, they'll pay for your CDL. If you leave within that year, you have to pay that full amount for the tuition to get your CDL. So if you stay with them for a year, you don't have to pay anything. When I was in the process of getting my CDL, this is the route that I almost took, but I weighed out the options and it wasn't best for me. I never had the ambition to go over the road, and that's all these companies were offering at the time. And honestly, that's all majority of them are offering. If you're going the second route and you're gonna find a company to pay for your CDL, I would highly suggest that you vet out that company before signing that 1-year contract. I would hate for you to get stuck with a company that you do not like and you have that 1 year you have to work for them so that you can get that CDL paid for. But if you do end up in that situation, you sign that 1-year contract, you're working for a company that you completely hate, don't worry. You do have that CDL. You can leave that company. Let's say you owe $5,000 to $7,000. You have that CDL. That CDL is just like a degree. You can make as much money as the work you put in. So you can leave that company and go find another company to make good money. Within a few months, you can pay back that $5,000 to $7,000. Now you have your CDL free and clear for you to make as much money as possible. So I'm going to tell you guys a little backstory on me and my CDL. When I was 21, I was like, you know what? I'm 21. I know I'm not going to go to college. If I was going to go to college, I was going to go when I was 18. I was like, you know what? I don't want to go into debt. College was just never the thing for me. I knew that my dad drove trucks years ago and he made a decent amount of money. I was delivering floor tile. I was like, you know what? I've been talking to a bunch of different guys that have their CDL. I was like, you know what? Why don't I do this as well? First, I found a CDL school. I went and talked to them. My credit was good. They was like, hey, you know what? You can finance to get your CDL. And I was like, you know what? That was an option, or I could have just worked for a company, signed that 1-year contract. It was like a Saturday and I was supposed to start on Monday. I just had this eerie feeling in my stomach. I was like, you know what? I don't want to sign a 1-year contract and work for a company and just hate it. So you know what? I was like, you know what? I'm going to just pay out of pocket myself. So I saved up my coins and I paid $2,700 to get my CDL. After getting my CDL, I applied for a bunch of different local positions. Finally, I got that call. Pepsi called me and they told me, hey, we'll start you out at $22.12 an hour. So within that first year, I was getting laid off, let's say 2 to 3 months out of that first year. That first year, I made $55,000. That was the most money I've ever made. Fast forward to the second year. That second year, things were very consistent. I wasn't getting laid off anymore. I was working 6 days a week. I was working every single Saturday if I could. Every Saturday that I worked, they were paying me time and a half. And I was also pulling double routes 3 to 5 days per week anytime I could. That second year, I doubled my income. I made 6 figures. I was like, you know what? I'm making a decent amount of money. This is the most money I've ever made. I built my credit. I met a bunch of different people in the industry. I gained so much knowledge in the transportation industry. It was crazy. So halfway through my second year, I saved up a bunch of money, and I talked to a friend of mine. I was like, you know what? I have the education. We have the money. Why don't we just start our own trucking company? So I left Pepsi. And if you've been following me for some time, you know the deal with my trucking company. My partner and I, we started it. We scaled it up. I moved from Michigan to Texas back. I just had my first child. He's a month and a half now. So fast forward to now, I made a decent amount of money having my own company. I started my YouTube channel. That took off. And now I'm back at Pepsi. I'm back at making a decent amount of money. So I'm telling you that to tell you this. You can make a great amount of money with your CDL. You can meet so many different people that are gonna be your friends for life. You can make a great amount of money, start your own trucking company just by getting your CDL. You can take a look at the options of getting your CDL for free by watching this video, which is a great option. I wish I would have known this before getting my CDL. Or you can find a company, find the cheapest company in your area that's gonna do a great job at training you. You can pay anywhere from $1,000 or $1,500 all the way up to $7,000 and get your CDL. I guarantee you're gonna make at minimum $60,000 your first year with getting your CDL. That's life-changing money for a lot of different people. So I highly suggest that you get your CDL as soon as possible. If you haven't already, make sure to smash that like button. Let's get this video picked up in the YouTube algorithm. Let's find that person that was just like me that needed to get their CDL, but they didn't have the information on how to get their CDL for free. I would love to help as many people as possible to get their CDL. We need to fill that gap and get as many people on that road so we can still get the necessities that we need out to those homes. Also, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell notification so you're notified anytime I post a video. And as always, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Thank you guys so much. I'm sorry guys, I can't leave you without saying this. Did you guys realize that I told you I turned $27? I'm sorry, before I let you guys go, did you leave? Did you guys miss that gem that I just dropped with you guys? I told you I invested $2,700. That $2,700 made me $55,000 my first year. That second year was over 6 figures. So that $2,700 investment made me my money in less than a month. And I've made so much money, so many different streams of income by making that just $2,700 investment. So never, ever be afraid to invest into yourself. Thank you guys. I love you. And don't be afraid to invest into yourself.